everyone. Welcome to episode 9 of Blossom Darkenhaven, The Curse in Bluebrick. We're going to give a shout out to our sponsors and those who help us get here. Gooey Cube, of course, who's brought us the world of Xayathay. Sirenscape for our music. Our VTT is Foundry running on Forge. And very special today is our artist, BreenaLuna, who also happens to be our guest star. Welcome, Breena.
Welcome.
Yay.
Hi, bestie.
Hi, bestie.
Okay, so what we're going to do first is we are going to start off with our character introductions. And Savinar, will you start off for us?
Of course, I'll start off. Of course, they start with me because I'm in Savinar. I am the leader of this motley crew as usual. I do have to announce that I was deputized by the magistrate before he passed away. So I am the only one with an actual badge because I know all of the rules, regulations, and articles and educations of this area.
Thank you, Savinar.
My
Sigismund?
pleasure.
Yes, I am Sigismund. I am the paladin of the group and the actual leader of the group. For
Fake news.
as he was deputized, indeed, I have in fact got the lockstone, which lets me release people from jail. So even though he has a symbol of authority, I have actual authority. But it's fine. I don't want Savinar to feel badly about himself, and it seems to make him feel better. So I just let him have it.
Here we go.
To you, Joss. And I'm sure
hello.
your artwork, but I can't find it.
It's I think it's in one of the episodes because I've been here for a while. I'm a neighbor of the custodians of the condemned, and they've saved my wife. They've saved my child, and now I'm joining this episode to bring them a gift and see if I can help out a little bit and to play instead of GM. It's going to be so much fun.
Yes, it is. And now, our guest star, Keysys.
Yes, hello, I'm Keysys. I'm an archaeologist coming about to get some aid in discovering or uncovering an interesting magical artifact that happens to be in this city, which is new to me.
Welcome to Darkenhaven. And as always, we open up in our former magistrate's house, our recently departed magistrate, where the custodians are currently in the midst of a debate, as usual, especially between Sigismund and Savinar. They do have a lot to discuss, religiously and otherwise. And as they are talking, there comes a tap, tap, tapping at their door.
It's actually a tap, tap, tapping on the wall. It sounds like a boom, boom, booming that you hear outside.
No, as I was saying Savinar, you have to put the cereal in first and then the milk. It's very strange that you do it the other way.
Why would you put the cereal in first and then the milk? You rationalize with regulating the amount of milk that you use to section it off so that others may have milk. So you put your milk in there and then you use the cereal. That way you know exactly how much milk you're actually getting.
Crack,
But
boom, crack, crack, boom.
Oh, it's happening again.
Oh, not
Savinar.
again.
Here we go.
Is it your damn ghost? Is he around here?
No, he might be around. We'll see. And I will go over and open the door and see why someone is not, in fact, banging on the door, but a wall.
So what you see is your neighbor Joss, and he's out there and he's attaching a new sign. He has pulled down the sign that says condemned, and he is attaching a new sign. And you know, Joss is of course a sign maker. And as you open the door, hello. I'm trying to thank you all for all of your help with my family. So I've made you a new sign, and I'm just trying to get it hung up here. It's nice to see you again, Sigismund.
You too. How are things going? How is your wife?
Oh, very, very good, very good. Well, what
Good
do you
to
think
hear.
of the sign? You look at
Uh,
it, it's just a very ornate sign that says condemned.
Yeah. Oh, it's wonderful. Quite an upgrade. In Savanor, look, we have a new sign. Joss has brought us a new sign.
Just did you announce that we were getting a new sign today? You just decided to put it on the outside of our building.
Well,
Oh, it's-
it says the same thing. So
I mean, according to Article 12B, you cannot replace a sign without proper, I would say permits, but it's not exactly a permit. It's more like paperwork with extra steps.
Well, it is known that a quick configure sign hasn't been known. I've got some notes that I can share with you. A quick configure signs can increase your visitors by up to 50%.
oh shit, take it down.
Please take it down.
There's so many people here all the time. But no,
There are constant
we
issues.
appreciate
And,
it. though, Joss.
and
We really
speaking of extra people and visitors coming up, we have someone else coming and approaching to see what's going on over here. Stranger from out of town.
Hello.
See,
Are
I told you, up to
Yeah.
50%.
Oh, good.
Are you kidding me right now?
Yes. Well,
Sorry?
we have a guest in Savanor.
It is,
Let's-
I'm not. I apologize, my dear.
Yes.
I was referring to our neighbor, but how might I? Excuse me. Hello, how are you? And he moves. Oh, damn it.
He's grabbed everyone again.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh
Why?
no!
Only yourself, please.
I'm trying. I'm trying. It's not working.
Here in Savanor, let me give you a hand. Over to the door.
I appreciate it. Oh, my back, my back. Lately, it's been a wild. Hello there. How are you today?
I'm quite all right. How are you?
I'm actually much better now. What can we possibly do for you exactly?
Well, I've been told by several around the area that this is where you come to when you're in need of aid.
Oh, of course it is. They directed you to the correct place. Allow me to introduce myself. I am N. Savanor, and it is a pleasure to be of your acquaintance. And he holds out his hand for hers.
She'll extend her hand.
And he-
Keysys, delightful to meet you in Savanor.
It is very delightful to meet you, Keysys. That is quite an exotic.
In Savanor, why are you being so weird?
I am trying to be nice.
When have you ever tried to be nice?
After the last 8 times you've told me
And
to
I'll,
be
like-
nice.
I'll like walk over to the door behind him and then go, oh, now I see why he's trying to be nice.
You just see a flush.
He
His
gets a
skin-
much
his
darker
skin
blue.
is a much darker blue. It's almost purplish, and he just turns his head and I need to move out of this house.
Hello, my dear. How can we help you today?
Hello. Well, where do I start? Well, first, I suppose I should mention that I'm an archaeologist and I am trying to find magical items and artifacts, and I've discovered that there is rumored to be one in a what do you call an abandoned manor or of some such in town, and I am but one person and feel I probably can't do it alone on this one. I was wondering if you might be interested in backing me up.
We are most definitely interested in backing you up there.
Why aren't you
Oh,
asking questions? You always ask questions.
I
Like-
constantly ask. This time I am trying to do it more. How does Stammen say? Just aim and shoot like that. So I'm trying to do a little bit of that.
Right, but what kind of magical artifact is it? Is it dangerously guarded? Is there a puzzle? Like, what are we talking about here? Joss, feel free to hang out while we discuss this. I want to grab my coin purse and give you a small token of our thanks. But I need to.
You guys have you've saved my family, and I owe you big. It's interesting to see what you actually do. People come in and they ask for things, and well, that's kind of interesting. Must be a crazy life you live, much like one of my former lives before I became an artisan. You see.
Oh, what was that? Hang on. Now I got to know about this.
You say one of your former lives.
Hello, would you like to come inside? I don't know why they're asking you to stand outside. They usually invite people in. I'll just here. You can have my chair.
No, Joss. It's how we figure out if people are vampires or not.
Oh, well, I've just invited her inside.
Well, now we'll never know.
I can assure you, I am not a vampire. Also, isn't it a bit spotty with vampires in the daylight, and it's currently daytime?
I got to be honest. I read like half the book on vampires in class.
I mean, you did mention a magical artifact, and there is one known that allows you to walk in the daylight. I've researched this a little bit.
Well, I mean, but it's daylight now, and she had it. She wouldn't be looking for it. But...
I mean, but it would be in her pocket, and we didn't search her exactly. She just entered the room.
She just like puts her hands in her pockets and pulls them out, and they're empty.
In Tavern, do you want the frisker?
I mean,
how about I just do a little spin? Would that be all right?
That should be fine. Thank you.
Does everybody get harassed before you help them?
Yes.
Listen, you're just a next door neighbor. You don't even live here. Why are you asking questions?
He's our neighbor. Be friendly to him.
I was, and he clearly went past Article 12B on putting that sign outside of our house.
Look, why don't I make us a cup of tea and everybody come in and sit down and we'll figure this out.
Oh, all right. If it's perfectly fine with everyone, I would be happy to come in and have a seat. And I do love a spot of tea, actually.
I'll make the tea with holy water just to make sure.
I mean, do whatever you feel you need to.
No, I don't say that out loud. I just do it. I'm telling Pam.
Oh, got it.
That's perfectly okay. Knock yourself out.
There's a part of the couch I just prestidigitate to like make it like clean. You can sit right here, my dear.
Why didn't you do that literally any other day? This place is a wreck.
I try to do that every other day, but Dulcinea and her ridiculous contraptions blow things up constantly and make messes for me.
All right. Well,
she's gonna remember that instant hour.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, tell us about this artifact. What are we looking for here? Is it a weapon, a defense?
Well, I unfortunately don't know a lot, as it's largely been rumored. But what I am aware of is that it has some relation to a name Crindle, and I haven't picked it up in research yet. And the artifact may or may not be cursed.
The good ones always are.
Slight inflection in your voice made it sound as if you're not very confident if it's cursed or not, my dear.
I remember doing a job in Bluebrick for the Crindle household. Maybe it is, and they're said to be here.
Yes. Everything that I've discovered up until this point has brought me here.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, there is a household called Crindle in Bluebrick. It's been empty for more than a decade, and I think it's been barricaded and sealed off by the Purple Posse.
Now, hang on. You said it was a household, yes?
Yes.
What kind of job were you doing there?
So, is that tea ready yet?
I'm going to use my channel divinity to cast Emissary of Peace on myself. And then I'm going to say, please, Joss, just tell me the story. You know you can trust me. After all, we've saved your life. And that of your wife.
Multiple times, actually. And Article 12B.
Can I try to persuade him?
You can try.
I have a +5 from the Emissary of Peace. So that is a 15 plus. That's going to be 17.
And what's your resistance, Joss?
That I rolled a 12. So yeah. Well, I guess I can trust most of you. I mean, I don't know this this visitor of yours, but she's not from town anyway, so
Yes.
maybe she won't be blabbing about where I've gone and where I've been. So I've had a sordid past, so to speak, in Gloomport, and I cashed out my last job, and I bought what apparently was a haunted empty shop that I turned into a sign shop. Which, thank you for helping me get rid of that that haunted things.
Oh, yes.
For those of you who haven't watched an earlier episode, that was a spoiler, but sorry. So yes, helping me get these jobs. Of course, now I've kind of dropped off the radar, and that profession is, I use my nimble hands for making wonderful masterpieces like the one hanging outside your door there.
I see. So forgery, then it is. All right. Well, don't worry about it, Joss. I don't hold anything against you personally. I mean, everyone who's in Bullerton has something in their past that they're not proud of. But you seem to have made an honest living for yourself, and that's all that matters. Right in Savanor.
I don't know what you mean. Why would you point me out? As if I would object to such things.
Because you're a little judgy sometimes.
Judgy. That was a judgy statement. Unbelievable. Here I am minding my own business on this side of the room, trying to be a
Anyway,
hospitable host to
so
our guests,
we are
and
going
I've
to
been
go check
blamed.
out this building now, yes? Joss,
Building.
perhaps you could come with us, and in such establishments, sometimes there are anti-invasion things placed on these sort of establishments, and it might be good to have someone who knows the layout.
Oh,
Very
yes, of
good
course.
point.
And if you wouldn't mind, I'm just going to run across the street real quick and get some things. I didn't come prepared to I just came over with a sign. So just give me 1
Sure.
minute. I'm going to run across the street, and he runs out, and a few minutes will come back in full garb, a cowl, and not easily
utility belt.
recognizable. Yeah, and a utility belt, and some other things, and some gloves, and so that he's a little halfling that is not easily recognizable. He's even put on some things that might like change his cheekbones a little bit, so that
Wow.
he's like totally in disguise right now.
Were you
Right.
involved in random criminal activity?
He was a
No.
forger, it seems like.
Well, no,
Forgery.
I've done some things in the past, and I don't want to be recognized by the Purple Posse if for some reason we might run into them. So it's much better for my business, of course, if I'm not recognized sneaking around Bluebrick and these abandoned houses.
I'm
Huh.
guessing that we,
Edification, though, the Purple Posse is something of the constabulary over in Bluebrick.
Right. I
Ah.
don't want to be recognized by them.
I was going to ask.
okay.
Huh.
I was just going to assume that anybody wearing purple we would try and avoid. But,
Keysys hides her hair because it's black
Oh,
streaked with
Jesus.
purple.
ooh.
Mm,
Ooh.
Yeah, but no, the Purple Posse would be very recognizable from their
Okay.
uniforms, which are primarily purple.
All right. She is wearing a lot of purple, it's got to be said.
It's my favorite color. I'm not from here. I didn't know it was bad.
Well, it's not bad necessarily.
Not bad, but
It's-
you could use to your advantage.
all right. Well,
Once-
we've been sitting here discussing things for too long. Let's get on the way, and we can speak on the way if we need to.
And Joss can lead you to this building that used to belong to the Crendels. And as you arrive, you will notice that, yes, not only are all the doors and windows boarded up and barricaded, but the grounds themselves are barricaded. except for around one area where there is access through a break in the gate. That will show you the door to a root cellar. And as
Right.
far as you can tell, that's the only door that isn't barricaded.
Well, then I will go up.
Well, hang on. Is there anyone around?
There's just the regular folks on the street passing by, but there's nobody at the house or on the ground. It's just all boarded and barricaded.
Josh, doesn't it seem a little weird that the Purple Posse doesn't have a presence here? Literally.
Well, I mean, this thing's been boarded up and barricaded for, let's say, I don't know, a decade or so. So maybe they've, they might patrol around here, and maybe they've got it all boarded up so that people, ne'er do wells don't just, squat in there. But I think if we kind of go through the root cellar, and maybe there's a lock on it, or maybe there's not, or if there is, I could probably, do something about that. But and he'll kind of lean in the gate, the break in the gate, and just kind of surveil the area inside the gate.
Are you certain of this? Because it seems like every entrance to this place seems boarded up except one. We're dealing with either two things. One is there's a squatter inside, or two, where they're leading someone somewhere. You give
Like
one
they
person an
want
opening, they
you.
can take that one and can lead them exactly where you want them.
That's what I was thinking as well. It's a little suspicious that there just happens to be one perfect entrance.
There is only one way
That's fascinating. Brains and beauty. Interesting. I'm glad you came to the same theory as I did.
Everyone knows there's only one way to disarm a trap. Walk in completely uncovered and
Oh my god.
overpower whoever is setting the trap.
I'm not sure
So-
that's
So yeah, I'll sneak up to the root cellar as they're debating the fact that it might be a trap. And is the root cellar door got a lock on it?
It is locked, yes.
All right, give me a second. Let me roll this here.
Listen, I commanded a military force for over 20 years.
So 27 on sleight of hand to pick the lock.
Ooh.
You do succeed. You hear it spring open. It was a little, old padlock, but it had been sitting there a while. And, the entrance wasn't like, oh, yes, someone had used it recently. It fell down at some point and no one bothered to repair it. So you'll be fine.
And then a 6 on my deception. Oh, it looks like nobody locked this lock.
Yeah, no one's going to believe you. That's
Just
okay.
watched you open it I just watched you pick it. You even said, shit, I can't get this picked at one point.
We heard the click back here.
Why are we just lying now? All right.
We're involved in criminal activity. Josh, you're trying to hide something.
No, he was involved in criminal activity. Technically, you're involved in criminal activity right now. This is breaking and entering.
Actually, I have the authority. I have probable cause. I can enter the premises.
What is your probable cause? That there's something in there that your girlfriend wants?
Yes. Wait, no, shut up. Mind your business.
Isn't there a clause somewhere that once something's abandoned for so long, it's kind of the laws about occupancy and trespassing get a little fuzzy?
That is
No.
Article 27C.
No, that's bullshit.
Is it? Well, maybe that's just.
It's
I
an
don't
actual
actually know.
article.
But let's go check it out because Joss is going in by himself, and that seems dangerous.
We should follow.
I don't think I'm here.
You should all be there.
I can't
Can you not
where
see
I
yourselves?
am.
Oh, I can. It's just dark as ass.
It is
here
just
for
dark.
me.
He is.
I don't see anyone else. I only see me.
I only see me and a bunch of hands.
And it won't let me turn off the fog of war for some reason. I know. I will clear everything. Maybe that will help.
Oh, it's weird. Sometimes whenever I discover a new tile, I can see it.
Oh.
But I am actively standing on the same place as Corey, and I can't see him.
Yeah, we can't see each other. That's weird.
That's peculiar.
I'm
Oh, now I can see in Tavanor.
Waiting for Forge.
Now
to
he's
reload.
gone. Technical difficulties.
Yes, yes, they are.
All right.
I think you have to turn off token vision.
Yes, turn that off. This cellar is having a strange effect on the vision.
Ah.
Now I can
Yes.
see everything.
So we are still outside. Ah, I see.
Ah, I see.
I thought I was
Yeah.
already wandering around inside.
Me
Not
too.
yet.
Me too.
And the
Oh.
lock on that door is obviously like a DC 1.
Yes.
It's like
It's
just
just a
a-
stick
Just
stuck
pull
in a
that
lock.
out and-
It's a railroad spike. Just
It's not even wood.
It
it's
was
wood.
in there. It was wedged in there. Really, they took a hammer to it.
Well,
Okay.
Josh, do you want to go in first and be sneaky, or do you want me to go in first in case something hits?
I'm sorry. Did he say stinky or sneaky?
It's the same thing.
Well, I can go on in.
Okay.
I've been here before.
All right. Be careful.
do I
I
need
did
to
with the
follow
wall.
behind you,
The
or are
token
you
You
has-
have to
independent?
go through the door.
You have to open the door.
Oh, open the door. Open it.
Now it's open. Oh. Maybe the door is one down, Corey.
Nope.
No, it should be right there.
You can pick
You know-
locks and not open the door.
No, just turn it the other way. Turn the knob the other way. Uh-oh.
Okay.
I think you're gonna have to
know?
grab me and move me there, Pam.
I guess so.
There we go. Now
You're
I'm
going to have to
inside.
move us in. Move the whole squad in. There we go. Everything
you
is working as
enter the-
intended.
You enter the root cellar. It's, things you expected, cupboards and barrels and cabinets and tables. Although as you look across it, you will see there's this curtain drawn across the whole cellar and a long table on one side and what looks just like piles of stuff on the other side.
Guys,
Everything is covered in a thick layer of dust, like it hasn't been opened down here in a very long time. There
Guys.
is a noticeable absence of critter tracks and cobwebs.
I feel. Does nobody else feel weird here? Like something is watching you, or
Well, I wouldn't know. I lived with that feeling for about 2 years before you guys saved my wife. So maybe?
It definitely feels a bit off, yes. And where are the spiders? Usually there's like spider webs, maybe some mice. There's
Some-
nothing.
Oh, yeah, not even any droppings.
something is
Swatter
weird.
or rat or any kind of anything.
I want to go over to the curtain and not go like past it, but just kind of listen.
Okay. Roll for perception.
It's an 18 on the die. So
Okay. So
I
as you
usually put
listen
proficiency.
really closely, you can hear what sounds like a soft crying.
Hold
And
on.
also, counterpoint to the crying, you'll hear someone saying, "It'll be okay. They'll be back soon."
Guys, be very quiet. There's something here.
What? Okay. I go over this tool and I start pocketing all these tools that look perfect for sign making for some reason. And I'm just going to shove them in a bag.
They're
And then
just
sneak-
random things.
I mean, it looks like there's a good hacksaw there and a big
Yeah.
hammer.
Some woodworking tools.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are
Uh.
great for business. And then I'll sneak over here next to Sigismund.
Yeah, I'll sneak right next to it.
Can I please cast Divine Sense?
Mhm.
And just like look for like, especially with the lack of footprints and stuff. I'm specifically kind of looking for undead, but just anything in that undead celestial, like demonic realm. within 60.
Okay. So when you cast that, none of your shall we say spidey sense goes off. There's nothing that's demonic or hostile or anything. Although you do get the sense that there are some spirits here. But they're not hostile spirits.
Joss, I'm just going to say this. There is some kind of spirit or ghost over there. Don't freak out. It's going to be okay. Remember, we dealt with it last time, and this one doesn't feel hostile. So it's going to be okay. Okay?
Okay. Well, you guys have found the place.
No, Joss, come back here.
We still need you to show us around a bit. Won't you
Yes.
stay a little while longer at least?
Oh, well, yes, I guess I could. I mean, I do owe these folks, and they've taken on this job, and I took on this job too, and this will probably be the last job I do with the custodians of
gonna
the
be
condemned,
okay.
and there's a ghost on the other side. And
Are you crying?
Not all ghosts are bad.
Talk
Sometimes they're
softly to
friendly.
yourself.
I'm trying to talk so, but it goes in here. The
No, Joss,
acoustics.
sob softly to yourself. Don't cry out loud. It's going to be okay. Look,
Okay.
it's not hostile, whatever it is. It's going to be okay. Oh God. Josh, was there a little girl or something who died here that you know about? Because it sounds like a small girl.
Are
To
you
be
sure it
honest,
sounds like a small guy?
there was no one here the last time I was in here. I made sure of that because well, doing my previous profession when there are people about isn't very smart, is it?
Well, the way I see it, we have two options. Either we can sneak in there or we can just go. If we just go, then I should go in first. If we're going to sneak, then someone else should.
I can sneak in there and see what's.
Yes,
And
see what
then-
you see.
And then so I will go to this edge of the curtain down here and kind of stealthily 17 on my stealth, peek around the curtain.
As you peek around the curtain, you just see more stuff strewn about. You see another set of stairs that go upward. More broken boxes, broken furniture. It looks like a couple of chests. One's open, might have something sticking out of it. One's closed. But that's pretty much all you can see as you're just peeking around that curtain.
And then I kind of peek back and, well, what is it that we are looking for exactly? There's a couple of chests in here, and perhaps the artifact could be in one of these chests.
Well, we could check. I have a feeling it wouldn't be that easy, but it's worth a look.
Well, I don't see any ghosts, so there's one open, and he points all the way across the room, and then there's one closed. I'll go check that one. And I'll make my
Okay, and
way-
as you cross over,
I can't cross.
yeah, no, because I need a dexterity check, please.
Oh, okay then.
What
Yes.
kind of curtain is this?
That's a 20.
Oh,
Okay,
Ooh.
so the
Oh.
ever so nimble Joss makes his way across all this broken items that were all randomly stacked and haphazard. And of course, him being a small person and lightweight, it's probably a little bit easier for him. So he
Watch your
does
step,
make it
guys.
across
Watch your step.
successfully.
Okay. I'll just walk through behind him.
oh, okay. I'll follow you.
It's the-
Everybody, dexterity, please.
As stealthily as a paladin in chainmail can be. That's
Clink,
a 4
clonk,
on
clink.
the dice.
That's
so-
gonna be great. Oh,
Um,
perfect.
15.
Oh no,
And in Savanor,
that is a 10.
okay. So
I have rope for that pit trap you guys just fell in. I'm just kidding.
So Keysys gracefully makes it across to
Got
the
a
other
5.
side. Sigismund is not so lucky. He manages to catch his foot and face plant on the other side.
Shit. What is all this? Why did you tell us there was a bunch of crap on the other side? Joss, please.
He falls prone, he face plants and takes 3 points of damage.
Hooray.
And then Salvanor also trips, but lands on top of Sigismund. So he gets a little bit of cushion, except for the fact that Sigismund's wearing plate mail.
Oh yeah.
And another 3 points of damage.
Points.
Keysys will walk over and just kind of hold out her hands to help them up. Are you all right? He did say to watch your step.
I mean, I did watch my step until this one fell in front of me and tripped me.
There's a whole bunch of shit stacked here. What am I supposed to do?
Why did he not tell you about the shit that was stacked over there?
I don't know. He could have
I
just
didn't
said,
have any
"There's a
problem
bunch of
coming
stuff
over
here."
the shit. I had no problem crossing over that.
He didn't
shit.
say there's a pile of chairs and stuff. He said, watch your step. That means a hole to me. It's fine though. Don't worry about it.
Unbelievable.
If it's a ghost, it knew we were here anyway. It's fine.
I don't see any ghosts, but let me open this chest here.
It's not locked, it opens up. It's just filled. And
Ooh,
I'm
that
assuming
lock
you
was
rifle
tough.
through
Ooh,
it.
Man, much tougher than the other lock. And it's filled with what?
It's it's filled with old clothes. The clothing that would normally be worn by young girls of varying ages. And as you're searching through it, you start to hear the soft cry, and it seems like it's coming from your right. And Keysys, it's almost directly to your left. You hear the soft crying and someone saying, "It'll be okay. They'll be okay. They'll be back soon." And it's
Well,
coming
thanks.
from right about this area here,
Oh gosh.
right about here.
Casey, step away from there. There's,
Oh.
I think there's ghosts in those corners, and
think
ghost
you're
makes
right.
you do bad things. The ghosts
do.
make you do bad things.
Oh, I'm backing up. Did you hear that? So you heard it too. I'm not.
Yeah,
Well-
they said they'll be back soon. They'll be back soon. And I presume they mean us, and then they're gonna take over our minds and make us murder people in the alleyways.
That escalated quickly.
Josh, come here. Come to me. And I will I'll say, here, I'll cast something that will keep them from possessing you. And I'll cast bless on everybody but me.
Oh, thank you.
Just the people that know that spell. It won't keep anything from possessing him, but it does make him glowy for a little bit. And he doesn't know. He's not a paladin. See, much better now. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
And-
yes. I feel fortified by the power of
Graceful.
Harmonia.
Harmonia. Yes, Harmonia's made me be able to fight that off.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Do we want to speak with this little ghost just in case she's the one who cursed whatever the item is?
Well,
That's how magic works, right? Is that right in Savanor? Like they die and then they can curse stuff with their death?
They die, they curse things, their fear, anguish, not leaving this mortal plane. Yes, it does curse things. It is very annoying. But since
Right,
you seem
yes.
to have your feelings in order, perhaps you can speak to her and go with guidance of Leon, my friend. And I touch his shoulder and give him guidance.
Yeah. All right. I'll walk over to where you guys indicated the noise was coming from. And I'll say, hello. We're here to help. Is there something we can do for you? Whoa!
And
Actually,
They-
Sigismund probably does not care that a ghost shows up. Like ghosts show up in his house like every day.
yeah, so these two ghost figures appear, and they do look like young girls. One looks like she's about 5 and the other's about 10. The one who's about 5 is the one has been crying, and the other one is the one been consoling her. And she looks up at you surprised. you can see us? Who are you?
Yes, my name is Sigismund. I'm here to help. I'm from the Church of Harmonia. I bring peace. Yes?
Okay, have you seen our mom and dad?
No, but I just got here. Maybe you could tell me where you saw them last, and I can go and look for you.
They told us to hide down here and not come up until they came for us, but it seems like it's been a long time.
Tell you what, I'm sure they're just busy. I'm going to go talk to them and see what they want us to do, and then I'll come back down and take care of you, okay?
Okay.
And then I'll take out like a little something or other that I have, like a little piece of fabric or something, and kind of make like a little rag doll, just something, and like use thaumaturgy to make it glow a little bit, and like kind of like shake it at them, and then just leave it over by them.
The little 5-year-old kind of peeks over and reaches for it and manages to kind of pull it over a little bit.
You just stay here and we'll be right back, okay?
And then you,
Alright.
as you move away, you go, I think they're gonna help us.
As
It'll
I'm
be
there,
okay.
do I see if there are bodies or anything in that corner?
You don't see any bodies,
Okay. All right. Well, it seems these
just spirits.
are indeed not harmful. I'm imagining that something very bad is waiting for us upstairs. Something happened to their parents.
No.
Yeah. Little Mrs., you don't have any murderous intent and no stitched up pieces of people in here, do you?
Children. They're children.
Why is that your
They're
first
just looking
question?
at you guys.
Don't ask children if they have murderous intention. It's children.
And the 5-year-old, her eyes get really big and big crocodile tears, and she tucks into her sister and wails.
Okay. I mean, okay, it's okay. I'm
He's just
sorry. I'm
joking.
sorry.
He's joking.
It's all right, little darling. It's all right.
I'm sorry.
I'll
I've
slap
just
Joss in the back of the head.
I've just had some problems with people of your kind. That's all.
They don't know they're ghosts. You're just being racist to them. Chill, man.
Unbelievable.
Dude.
Man.
Relax, bro.
Okay.
It's gonna be okay. You got to get rid of this weird ghost fear. I live with a ghost every day.
Hey,
Yeah, I don't like that ghost either.
the one episode that I get to join in on, I got to trigger all my characters' fears.
I understand, but you're gonna have to put it aside at least for now. We can deal with
Joss
it
has
later.
a little bit of PTSD.
Fair.
Okay. I'll buck up. What's
Listen,
in here?
man up,
And I
put
go
your
look
big boy
through
pants
this
on
chest.
and
And
deal with it.
okay. So as you're digging through that chest, you do find a silver dagger, and Joss, with his background, would know it's not a cheap item.
Oh, look at that! Wow.
Look at the what?
What this is? Look at this.
Oh.
This dagger. Does it have any family crests or anything on it?
No, it's just a very, very pretty
Very-
silver dagger.
Look, that's worth something.
Yeah. Finders keepers. So I guess that's yours now.
Okay. Well, I don't really. Okay, I might need this later.
I mean, you can sell it
never know.
and maybe buy your wife a nice present or something.
Right.
Or
And
the
buy more
child.
sign materials.
and in case I need to stab something in here, I've now got a dagger.
Are you looking to stab something in here?
No, I'm just saying I didn't expect. I expected to sneak into an empty building, find some things, and sneak back out. I didn't know that there might be some spirits and who knows what lurking around in this building. So I'm glad I have a dagger now. It's good.
Joss.
It's a good thing.
Joss, if you ever see us anywhere, assume that there is some sort of spirit or robot or monster nearby. Just Put that on the books because it's almost always true.
That's not fair, Sigismund. You know that's not always
And,
true.
and as you're
Almost.
discussing this, you start hearing noise from the floor above.
Oh shit! All
Oh,
right.
There is something up there, though.
Well, yeah.
It's kind of
Whatever's up there is bad.
bumping and scraping noises.
Do you think we should go up weapons drawn? Or
I pull out the silver dagger.
maintain that we're here in peace for the time being until something gives us a reason not to? I honestly did not expect quite those poor children.
I'm always here just for peace, so I won't go up with my weapons drawn, but I will put my shield up.
Okay, well, I'll draw an extra one for you. And I reach into the bag and I pull out that saw that was on the table. I got the dagger in one hand and the carving saw in the other, and I start sneaking
At
up
least
the
it's not a
stairs.
bandsaw, I guess.
What the shit did you go home to get if not the weapon?
So,
Just a cowl?
Josh,
Just
you
went home
have
to get
no
out?
problem getting up the stairs, but you get to the door and you can tell it's not locked, but it won't budge.
Oh.
Well, this is my specialty. I just run into it.
Oh my god.
I don't think that's
So-
gonna.
So Sigmund, what are you doing? You're just gonna like
I'm breaching.
okay. So you're running into this door,
Shoulder first.
running
yeah.
up the stairs, shoulder first.
Yep.
Strength check, please.
Sigismund doubles as battering ram.
How does
Right.
a 19 suit you?
Very well. It groans, it grunts, and it smacks open, and then one of the hinges gets twisted off.
And I fall on the
But you
floor.
have heck.
20 years ago, that would have been way easier. All right, we're in.
You are in.
Does it look like it was like propped up by something? There was something stacked behind it or something?
No, it was just warped and really,
Oh.
really
Oh,
stuck.
the wood swelled.
And this was the only way we were getting it.
Pretty much so, yes. And then we do know that everybody else follows up.
Sigismund is not one of those D&D parties where you get stuck at a door trying to get it open for half an hour. It's like, we're getting this thing open or we're breaking it.
And you got to do what you did with the last map because I'm seeing little to nothing. Ah, there we go.
There you
There
go.
we go.
Go.
Pam, before I go upstairs, I want to like use my prestidigitation to make a super bouncy ball in my hand and like bounce it over to the ghost. Like, guys, keep yourselves occupied for a little while. And then I woke upstairs.
And so you find yourself in a kitchen. The dust is thick here as well. Again, no cobwebs, no creature tracks that you would normally expect, like little rat feet prints or anything. But you do see something that looks something like a particularly large bird footprint and some just odd scales here and there. Some are red, some are kind of a yellow-orange, just scattered about. Like something has been using the kitchen.
Gosh,
I'm gonna do a nature check here and see if I can. Oh, that's a 9. Okay.
You have bless.
Could
You have
I
bless.
assist?
Oh, that's a
you?
10.
I tried. Josh, quick, there's another knife over there. Grab it.
Oh yeah, I definitely walk over to the utensil area and I pick up a pot, heft it a little bit, and set it down, and pick up the knife.
You're looking
and
for your cast iron skillet there, Joss?
looking for something better than a saw. I
Well,
don't
there
know if
is a
something's
butcher
gonna
knife
stand still
there.
and let me go at it.
But yeah, you can see there has been something. Well, using is kind of a loose term for this, the kitchen, because they obviously haven't been cooking. But yeah, there's been something making a mess in there.
Can I
Could I-
investigate to form like clues of what has been in here?
Yeah, I'd like to assist with that. I was gonna say the
Absolutely.
same thing.
All right, and
So
with,
with a 10, I'm thinking it's a big chicken. Like there's some
It's a
chickens
big
roosting in
Big scale chicken.
here.
You guys do have bless still too. So
Mhm.
add your D4 to your check.
plus. Oh, and bless. So that is. Oh, that's an addition for 15. That is a 24.
Ooh. Nice. So as you're investigating and you're picking up these little scales, one's very red. It seems a little bit leathery, lizard-like. And the other ones are kind of a yellow orange, but also very leathery, like they were, shed from a lizard. But the footprints, they're not any creature you know of that is of the earth.
These
As
seem
in-
to be reptilian in
Reptilian in
genetics.
nature.
Can I see
but
this?
Not exactly. I kind of look at it. Doesn't have an oxygenated scent to it, so I would say it's not amphibian,
Does it
but
smell
it's
like
definitely
farts?
not from this planet.
If it smells like farts, it's probably a demon.
I would be able to tell if it was demon or not. Well, I'm sure you would be an expert or not, but
I've killed a lot of demons.
how many?
They smell like brimstone. Hundreds, lots of them.
Sulfur and brimstone.
Sulfur.
It smells like farts.
You're not
Does it
wrong.
smell like fart, Sam?
It does not, because also you've been picking it up out of a layer of dust, so it's
No, his hay fever.
So the tracks seem like old, like they're not recent.
some are recent, but they're just like something had touched down briefly, like when a bird comes and touches down really briefly and takes off again. So it's not like
Hmm.
Touch and go.
it's not going to cause an impact tremor when it lands.
All right, well, that seems to be all the information to be gathered.
And there's
from
some,
this.
pottery and stuff that had got knocked on the floor and stuff.
Hmm.
I'm just going to go check in the oven to make sure there's not like human bones or something weird in there.
And while
Oh.
he's doing that, I just want to cast detect magic around me to like boom the area and see if there's anything magical.
There is nothing magical in this area, no.
Okay.
Are there human bones in the oven?
There are not human bones. There are no bones in the oven. There is an old pot, and whatever was in it has long since fallen away to nothing.
Man, if we ever need to open like another branch of like,
The Bluebrick branch
yeah,
of
this
the
is
custodians.
it's a pretty good condemned building right here.
Why do we constantly go after the condemned buildings?
Because
They
nobody
are
else wants them,
dreadful.
and we make no
It's
money
cheap.
doing
I
it.
do want them.
No one has ever paid us.
Correct. That is an
Oh, that's
issue
not
we need to
true.
solve.
Joss just gave you a sign, and that's worth something.
It
Yeah,
also
at least
says
40
condemned.
gold.
That is breaking laws.
It doesn't even say any. It's not even an advertisement. It's just a fancier sign that says there's nothing here.
It's very well made, though.
But it's fine. Well, I think that's all we're gonna gather here. Maybe we move into the hallway now.
Yes, I think so.
I say you go to open that door and discover it's not actually a door. It just looks like one.
Are
The
you
knob
kidding
turns,
me?
but there's no latch. There's not actually, if you look closely, if it's not even like it rattles. It doesn't move at all.
This is just
It's
a
like a
solid piece
wall?
of wood.
And
Can I
it
use
looks like a
thaumaturgy
door.
to try to open it?
You can.
I want
Are
to
you
use my
gonna burn the
thaumaturgy to like
place
it
down?
fly open.
No, that's one of the thaumaturgy triggers is opening and shutting doors and windows.
But it's not a real door.
It's,
But-
it's
but-
a fake. It's a fake door.
It's a fake door, but are there any other doors in the area that it would work on?
Yes,
Did
there
they-
is. it tries to open. It rattles. There's a special catch. And so as he does that, the wall behind Keysys starts shaking like it
Ooh.
wants to open.
Hold
Oh,
on.
let me-
That made
let
this.
me what would that be? Investigate to
Mhm.
find the catch?
Yes.
Yeah, it's broke. It is completely broke. I don't think we're getting through this. I gotta say.
All right.
Oh my
I think we're trapped. I think we have to go back out and break down through one of those other doors. That's
Joseph, you wouldn't
sealed.
mind. Can you step to the side slightly?
All right. Yep.
I'm
Sigismund
gonna
just like
investigate.
just puts his arms up and like spits on each bicep. And then- He's about to crash into the wall when he sees
Here we
when
go.
he sees Insavinor trying to do it.
That is a dirty 20.
And you hear a big crunch, and this door flies open. This one right here.
Oh, on that side. I was looking on the other side.
Haven't you been here before?
Yeah, but when I
Never in the kitchen.
I never came to the kitchen.
And that opens, and then you see beyond it a dining room. This table, an old ratty rug, some 4 chairs. Again, more dust. Doesn't look like anybody has been in here in a very long time.
Any more scales?
Oh, an old ratty rug. Oh no.
Are you frightened of rugs too?
No, it's
Kidding me.
usually there's murder dungeons under old ratty rugs.
But you are
Oh,
already
no.
downstairs, so
Don't start with your murder dungeon thing again.
I was right last time.
Fake news. You weren't right last. That was luck. You, of course, the odds are in your favor when you keep saying there's a murder dungeon everywhere.
I said it one time, and there was one murder dungeon underneath.
What about that
And
other
there
time?
are some
You were
dead people
over there with the
underneath that
kobolds.
rug down in the basement.
There are technically some. There is technically a murder dungeon underneath this floor.
So
It
I mean,
wouldn't-
he's already been there, so I think that's cheating. But
It is.
I think a murder dungeon would constitute that someone's down there doing the murdering.
No, it
Are-
constitutes someone's down there's been murdered, like those children that got killed.
You and I have 2 very different definitions of a dungeon there.
That was the first floor.
If I were to put you down there and lock you in and then just leave you, would you say that you were or were not in a dungeon?
How are you locked in by a curtain?
Wait,
There's
the
not even
curtain
a
divided
knob.
the room. There was a locked door on the other. You remember?
You mean the lock that Joss picked when we watched him pick it,
Yes.
and it was
a
very
locked door.
old and rusted?
Well, they died a long time ago.
I don't.
Either way, is there any more scales in here?
no, there's just that more dust.
I can't help but feel like I'm worried about some kind of illusion here.
Do you
Is
think
Is that
the,
a gut
the
feeling,
dust
or is
and
that
the,
your senses going off?
I don't know. It just
do you think the decay is an illusion?
maybe I was in the. Do you know where I was last week? I was in the Fae. Everything was an illusion there.
Were you? I would love to hear more about that later.
No, it was the
actually.
worst. It was just a bunch of
Oh.
No
very
one would want to
bullshit.
hear about that. That is old fairy bullshit.
Yes, it's old fairy bullshit all the way down.
Fairy.
All right. Well, there doesn't seem to be anything. Do we just want to take a look around? Just like let's Scooby Doo it for a moment.
yeah, let's investigate and search
What
for
does
some
Scooby-Doo exactly?
some
Okay.
cursed artifact. I'll search. 13.
Take a look around this.
And as you're searching, there's a couple of cupboards. Old dishes, still everything's covered in dust. Your hands are coming away all gross, or gloves if you're wearing those. Like I yell at the TV when the crime things when they're not wearing gloves and they're touching the scene.
I just got like a 10. I don't find anything.
You do
Dirty
not find
20.
anything.
You got the 20?
You find the door to another room. And as you peek and open the door, you do see someone sitting on the couch. Kind of. Actually, in the chair over there. So as you look out, you see a specter.
Oh, another one.
gonna,
And she
like,
turns and she looks at you. It's a grown woman.
My dear,
And she
who are you
doesn't
waving at?
respond. She just looks at you.
Guys, I'm getting
Sigismund.
that weird feeling that I'm being watched again.
Oh no.
There's. Come here.
Hello.
What are you doing? Don't talk to it.
You guys literally had to be talking to the other ones last time.
They were
That was last time.
children.
This time is different. You said there's a murder
Aye.
dungeon. That might be the murderer.
Well, she seems to just be a book nerd like you.
There's
I
nothing
take
wrong with
offense
books.
to book nerd.
What?
I take offense to book nerd. I am a highly educated
Nerd.
individual.
It's an acronym. Never ending reading dude.
You just made that up.
No, I didn't. It's an
I
official
want to insight
military
check
term.
him.
And so while they're bickering, as old married couples do,
That's a 24 on deception.
Oh my god, no. Oh, you're so lucky. That was a 21 on insight.
Oh, that was so close.
Always take proficiency in deception no matter what class you pick, guys.
it has served him well. But even as you approach this specter ghost, again, it's a grown woman. She just looks at you. She has a sorrowful look on her face, but she does not respond.
Here, yeah, I need to brave through this anyway, and see if I can get over this fear of this is really bad because it's a ghost on a rug, but I'm gonna do it. And I
Hey.
run.
Anti-possession
He's trying
charm,
to shoot
remember?
drugs.
Right. It's
Hello-
exposure
hello,
therapy. It's good for it.
Hello, ma'am. Hello. Are those your kids downstairs?
She just looks at you. She doesn't respond.
Oh, no.
Okay. Two little, and I like do this with my two little girls.
That's how you mime girl?
You
Are you milking a cow?
with the hair. I said, and they're downstairs. Yeah. I speak in halfling and I say, "Do you have two little girls downstairs? Maybe you don't talk. Maybe you don't speak common."
Maybe write
Hello?
it down.
Oh, right. And I draw two little stick figures in dust on this table here, and then put girls downstairs and write that out in dust, and point to it and look up at her.
It's great that you're overcoming your
She's-
fears and all, but I really feel like there's something here.
What does she look like? Like a spectral woman, like human or elven or?
A human,
Okay.
yes.
Does she look like she would at all resemble the girls downstairs?
There is some familiar resemblance, yes.
Okay.
Oh,
And so she just sits in that chair and has a very sad look. But you will notice,
Okay.
though, all of you are standing in different places. You think she's looking at you.
Well, of course she's looking at me. I'm the one talking to her.
I'm going to look everywhere else around the room except at her and just see if there's anything else because I feel like I'm being watched.
Okay, so I'm gonna make my way back through the two doors I couldn't figure out how to open, and I'm gonna go downstairs and see if I can get the girls to follow me up here.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna ask her if those are her girls in every language that I know.
And that's a lot of them.
Just all
And
of
she's
them.
definitely she's just not going to
Guys,
respond.
she's just a ghost.
Okay.
She's just a ghost.
And as she's sitting there, you could see her, but you also, she's kind of fading in and out of vision.
oh.
She's just,
Can
I am sorrow.
Hey,
This
hey,
is-
girls, come on! I think I found your mom. Come on, hey, girls.
Yeah. You say that, but it's like they're there, but they're not.
Hmm.
I also don't like you. So we're talking about
Um,
murdering and stuff.
And let's see, Sigismund's
Strange
looking
little
around.
guys asking us
Yeah.
to go with you.
So Sigismund, either Arcana or a religion check.
Oh my god, it's a 19 on the dice.
Let's go.
And I don't
And
have.
are
good training
we
scheme with that.
surprised? No, you always roll high.
You don't need stats if you always roll well, because my religion is just +2.
21.
Well, you have that 19, 21 now. And as you're looking around, you know whatever you're looking for, this item that's potentially cursed is definitely not here in this living room.
All right.
Can I see anything? Like, obviously, she's died here. Is there anything suspicious that, like, could have killed her? Like, in the room? Evidence of it?
Table, chairs, books. Somebody had dropped a book on the table at some point. They had been reading, but no globe over. I guess that's a globe. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't make this map.
Sometimes when you're a nerd,
There's no bodies.
endless reading, dude. You nerd so much that you just forget to eat and you just die. You have to make sure you're eating if you're a nerd.
Look at this. There's Estrenia and Sundestia, and oh, there's a little island of Zen right here.
Look, whatever we need is not in here, but I am interested in seeing if we can find peace for these spirits and help them move on. But maybe it's attached to the cursed item, so maybe we keep going. The cursed thing is not here.
And and now you're also starting to hear noises from upstairs, kind of clanking around, banging, like someone's scraping a chair on the floor. You know, instead of picking it up, pushing it.
Just dragging it. Oh, God.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's move on to the next room.
Yeah, I
here.
start moving directly towards the sound.
Okay, well, the stairs are that brown square in the lower left corner because our map maker forgot the stairs.
Got the stairs.
Those are the stairs that go up to the next floor.
Is there anything suspicious in this room at all?
It's just a big open foyer, like somebody forgot to furnish it.
All right.
So, yeah, this is as far as I've gone, because basically, yeah, you see that there's no furniture in here. It was really nice furniture once, and it went for a really good price. Yeah. Very good furniture. I wish I'd have taken that table out, but couldn't get it through the. Never mind. Anyway.
All right. Well, let's head upstairs. Do you want to take a quick sneak peek up there, Josh?
Sure. And I will stealth up the stairs. Ooh, 27.
Good.
Ooh.
Okay. Also give me a dexterity check.
Oh,
They're
right.
kind of rickety.
Okay.
They're old stairs.
Uh-oh.
8.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
so he's stealthing.
Bless.
Right up until
Oh, bless.
bless. What do we get?
11.
So you're stealthing up the stairs, and there's a part where it's kind of soft, the front of it, and your foot slips, but you manage to catch yourself and go all the way up, and you get all the way to the
Watch
top
that
of the
step.
stairs.
It's kind of broken.
Okay.
And you peek around up at the top, and you don't see anything quite really, but on the far side there are some noises. I'm assuming the rest of you are going to follow him upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
But knowing how
dexterity checks.
Sigismund is, I'm gonna just pat him on the back. Go with the gods, my friend. And I pat him on the back and give him guidance. Because if this guy didn't make it up there with dexterity, I know
I rolled
he
a
have a
7.
chance.
I rolled a 7.
I knew it.
So
Okay,
with guidance,
so-
do I have advantage or just an extra D4?
Extra D4.
Okay. 11.
Okay.
I rolled the max.
Sigismund's
17.
going up the stairs in his plate mail, clank, 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 clank.
Not plate mail. I'm too old for plate mail. I wear chain mail.
Chainmail. Still, you're clanking all over the place. You manage to step over the step that Joss has pointed out to you, except the next one's a little bit rotted, so it gives out under your foot. But you do catch yourself and don't manage to tumble down the stairs and land on anybody. So that's good.
Why is everything always so rotten?
Okay, and Salvador,
14.
you've watched both Joss and Sigismund have a little bit of trouble with the stairs and manage to avoid said trouble.
I made spreadsheets on rickety stairs. No one ever looks at them.
It's all those building codes. And Keysys.
17.
And you just about float up the stairs, so you're good. Alrighty now. I need everybody. Can you see it this time or not? No,
I see
of course not.
blackness.
We see nothing but
Darkness,
dark.
darkness.
Oh, there we go.
And I will drop you into the sea. So you've made it up to the top here with only a little bit of trouble for some of you. And at this top floor, you come out and you see a large study, office, library kind of thing. More rugs, a big desk there off to by a window, just to the
yeah.
right of the stairs. There's a long table with candles and more books on it. And there's a long corridor. And down that long corridor, you hear noises coming out of at least one of those rooms, though you're not sure which one.
I immediately get distracted and head off towards the books.
Could I check out the desk?
Absolutely.
I will check out this rug.
Make sure
Guys.
it's safe.
There is definitely something watching us, and it's in
I
this room.
feel that too. I feel it now. Yes,
It's
I
bad.
feel like I'm being watched.
Are you quite certain you're being watched?
Yes.
Not just paranoid.
No, I'm never wrong about these things.
I'm gonna say, and Keysys, as you're looking at the desk, you do discover that there's a pile of coins on the top, right out there in the open.
Why am I very suspicious about it? Because you made sure to say they're right out there in the open. I'm like, oh no,
They're not
these
in
are
the
good.
desk. It's like someone had just left them laying there on top of the desk. There's also some papers that look like someone was trying to keep a track of accounts, a closed book, an open book, candles on the other one.
Can I look through the track of accounts to see if there's any mention of an artifact? Like in
Absolutely.
their
In the
all that?
yeah, it's, you can look through the ledger. It's a basic household accounting, money in, money out, and you can see as the days go on, as it gets to, well, it has been abandoned for a little over 10 years, but as it gets to the most recent entries, you can see that the household was definitely going in the red.
Oh. Well, money problems were definitely a thing, although it could be because they just left the money lying about.
Oh, money's just lying about. Oh,
So Joss is pocketing the money as usual.
Dude, you're gonna get the curse of the Black Pearl so hard.
oh, and then he looks through the ledger a little bit, and he's like, oh, they couldn't afford to replace that furniture. Oh, well. And he puts a couple of the coins back on the desk.
Okay, so that little pile of coins, Joss being who he is and his colorful past, would have already identified that there would have been 3 cops, 8 silves, 2 gold, and 2 plats.
Ooh.
I'm assuming he's pocketing the plats.
Yeah. He'll leave the cops sitting there to pay for the furniture.
What do you guys do here? Just make debt? Is that?
And so you
Alright.
do hear noises coming from further down, although I know the books have Insavinor's full attention.
Yeah, I want to investigate the books just to see if there's something that would like catch my eye as far as like alchemy,
are
magic,
ya-
or anything like that.
Are you just looking at them, or are you picking them up, or what?
I'm going through them to see if anything like catches my eye. Do I have like investigation check or anything?
You can do, yes, an investigation check.
Let's do that.
I'm keeping an eye on him to make sure whatever I think is watching me doesn't eat him.
And I'll go up here and start searching around as well.
Investigation is an 18.
Okay, so what you're finding are a lot of books written in quite a variety of languages from all over Xayathay. And then even some that might be one of those other languages that Insavinar knows.
And Savinor knows.
There's a lot of languages.
Yep.
This one just says how to build a murder dungeon.
All right, I get it. You were right. It was a murder dungeon. This didn't quite look like.
Don't say he
what
was
you'd
right. It goes to his head, and I never hear the end of it.
That's
I
it.
literally never brag.
Did you just brag
Not
about
when
not
I'm around.
bragging?
No.
See, my point exactly. You, unbelievable.
And as those of you though who are there in that library area, that feeling of being watched, it's getting really, really strong.
Oh, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I'll
there's a
just-
demon
I'll-
here.
I just I look on this table here and pick up the deck of perilous fortuity that seems to be just laying out on the table.
But apparently they were using it not to play any of the normal games, but more like a soothsaying deck.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
shit.
I know who would like that. I'll give that to Lady Kriana. She's my neighbor. And pocket those.
I'm going to cast Divine Sense.
Oh, you know, so your divine sense, go ahead and cast it.
Yep.
And you know there's something here that's wrong, very, very wrong. Potentially more than one something. And you almost feel like you're surrounded.
Come on out. I know you're here. Let's get this over with.
Who are you talking
Who
to?
are you talking
What
to?
are you saying? What are you talking to?
They know who I'm talking to.
Who's
You know who
they?
you are, bitch.
Oh,
Why are you being belligerent?
Because there's definitely some sort of hellspawn or demon.
I thought you
or-
followed harmony and you were very peaceful nowadays.
Yeah, if something attacks me though, which these things definitely are gonna, we might as well get it done.
Casey's like starts to put her hand on her weapon, her scimitar, and it's like, I don't know what you think is going to attack, but now I'm nervous.
Guys better come out there. I'm gonna start consecrating this place and you're not gonna like that.
You could do that.
Yeah, he is a paladin.
But I can't.
Yeah.
No. Yes, I can definitely do that.
Actually, we both can do that because I do have the holy ways about me, the man of the robe, exactly.
I'm not the cleric.
He's something else, all right.
Rude.
Come on. I'll just go over and kick one of the bookcases.
You're
Okay,
gonna
he's trying to aggravate the spirits. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
over here next.
We-
to
We
Yes,
might as well
yes,
just
yes.
get it done. It's gonna happen.
Maybe there's some sort of thing we have to find to just really kick this off.
Yeah, well, maybe the dad is up here somewhere, and we need to get the family back together, and everybody lives peacefully ever
get the
after.
band
If
again.
you
Help.
were a dad,
I'm
Where
gonna use
would
my
you
thaumaturgy
Bad
and
Uh,
just
if
blow
I was-
open all the doors.
Okay. All the doors bang open. Oh,
Let's go. Nothing.
All right.
All right.
What
Nothing.
if this is? What if they really don't want the place to be disrespected? Like, what if I just pushed the ledger off this desk? Would that be enough to make them mad? Or do you think there's something specific?
I'm pretty sure she's asking you folk.
Are you going to minorly inconvenience the spirit?
Well, sometimes that's enough, you know?
Are you sure?
Do you know how many times I've been searching for something and I pick up the simplest thing and that's what triggers some insane event?
I know.
I
and
have this
extra stress
candlestick
have you
right
ran
here,
into
and I pick
exactly?
up the candlestick, and I'm
Well-
fully expecting it to like pull a lever or something, but it's just a candlestick.
I know an
Full of
exorcism.
wax.
You guys are ready? I'm gonna exercise it. You ready?
Yeah.
You don't know
Exorcismus te,
exorcism.
omnis immundus spiritus, omnis satanica potestas, omnis incarcio infernalis, adversari, omnis legio, omnis congregato.
And if
et
you
sancta
read down, I
diabolica-
shall taunt you a second time.
Nothing? No.
Speaking
All right.
celestial. I
He
don't know
just
what
said
to say.
ominous multiple times. He's not really exercising anything.
I think he just asked for the bathroom like 15 times in Celestial. I think that's
Dude,
what
that's-
happened.
Although you do hear what sounds like snickering over in one corner.
Oh, now it's just the entertainment. I think. we're fine.
That was the exorcism they use in the TV show Supernatural. I
Yes.
definitely don't just have that memorized.
Is that like Klaatu, Nick too?
Yeah, to Barata necktie.
I had like
Let's
another.
read from the book.
I had a whole other paragraph prepared of that.
That's quite all
Okay.
right, thank you.
You guys just need more. Man, I'm a little concerned that we know they're here. I just kind of want to burn it down now.
So it feels stronger over there and less strong over here.
Mm.
What if
The
I
further
go?
you get
Less
away
strong-
from the library study, the feeling of being watched lessens.
Oh, that's good. Let's go somewhere else. That's a great idea. Keysys, you're a genius.
Well, sometimes it's the simplest thing, really.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
you know,
stand like right here until you guys need me.
Okay.
I'm gonna peek in this room because the doors all were opened with the thaumaturgy, right?
Yes. So you look in that room, and it's obviously the master bedroom of the house. You know, there's a vanity and a couple of dressers with stuff on top of them.
And Joss is like
another
basically-
big rug in the middle of the room.
Joss is
a
basically
bed.
like got his head poking around her hip because he's a little guy, and just kind of like, see anything?
Just looks like a bedroom. I don't see any ominous spirits or
stay?
anything.
You know
like
that
They're-
that, that mirror. That mirror could be cursed, or maybe a hairbrush. Vanity is
Well, it
is
could be
definitely
like-
a curse.
well, that's true. Maybe I
What's
should
it
check
saying?
for a cursed like comb or brush or something.
Yeah.
If we came all the way here for a cursed brush, I'm gonna be pissed.
Well,
You're paging through the vanity, yes, and there's a hairbrush there, and there's a mirror, and some makeup that has seen much better days. I wouldn't wear it if I were you.
probably pretty expired. Could I do a detect magic and just see
Mhm.
how if there's anything? That's the wrong screen. There we go. If there's anything in the vicinity that pings.
So there's nothing around the vanity, but you get kind of a feeling from where the bed is.
Oh wait, Joss, there's something over here that's showing
Married.
up as magical.
I'm
What?
married.
That's when
Oh.
Salvador pokes his head in the door. Hey, what are you doing, Josh?
Bum chicka wow wow.
Oh, darling, no. Thank you, but no.
In Zavanor, can't you like do a detect magic or something to find the cursed item?
I can do plenty of things, but I thought that you were looking for ghosts exactly, and it doesn't really
Hey,
detect
look.
spectral entities.
Look, man, I get it. She's in the bedroom. You need to go spend some time in there. You got to do what you got to do, right?
And Salvador silently just gives him a fist bump and walks back over to the bedroom.
He's so stupid.
So as you get over towards where the large bed is, you know, there's still things, everything's still dusty and dirty, except for this big pillow that looks like something's been using it as a nest.
Oh,
Oh, that's not good.
Someone's, you know, there's a big indention on it.
Is the pillow what's magical?
It's residue from the pillow, on the pillow.
some sort of cursed cat lives on that pillow.
Well, something magical has been using this pillow as a nest. Do I pick up anything of like what kind of magic residue is left?
It's definitely nothing good.
It's definitely bad.
Does
Whatever
it smell
is.
like a fart?
I don't want to smell
I'm
its
not
nest.
going to
be
sniff it
honest.
exactly, Sigismund. It's not a good idea.
They don't
These
want
are
to sniff its-
these are professional demon hunting tactics.
Well, I'm an archaeologist, you see, so maybe I'll leave the sniffing of nests to you then, if you're a professional
I
demon
don't
hunter.
want to come
He's
in there.
not even in the room.
Don't want to come in there because there's-
Sigismund!
He's just yelling from outside.
yes. There are demons that are gonna come from this library. I'm telling you.
Maybe they won't do it if you stay there.
All right,
if
fine.
you want to
I'll
handle
come.
it.
I don't. Whatever, dude. I'll
Just
come in. there.
yelling.
Look, what is it? Look here.
It's
I'll
not
smell
pillow.
it.
Smell the below.
Yeah, I'll just grab it.
That is a oh god.
It's fine.
And yes, there is the scent of sulfur.
Oh, see you guys. See, look in Savanor. Smell it. Smells like a fart. It's a demon.
If you're
You gonna
if
throw
you're-
me the pillow?
Yeah.
Sigismund, I'm sorry, but if your farts smell like sulfur, I wonder what you're eating. That's
well,
just no
mostly
good.
Probably
eggs.
Brussels
I have an
sprouts.
itemized list of what he eats
Mostly
every day.
boiled eggs.
That'll do it.
As he
High
throws me the
protein.
pillow, I cast Identify on it to see exactly what I'm dealing with. That's magical.
It's some sort of demonic creature.
The pillow?
No, the residue.
Okay.
No, the pillow is a
The-
pillow of nesting plus 2.
Shit, it's a mini pillow.
It's a very comfortable pillow for someone's little butt.
It's
I
Savanor.
prestidigitate and stuff the pillow in my sack.
It's Savanor. Now you know how we can piss it off now.
You took its bed.
Burn its pillow.
I would be
Don't like
rather
that.
upset if someone took my bed.
I'm going to bring this in front of the library and then burn it.
Yes! There we go. Two
Oh,
birds,
that's
one
a-
stone.
A taunt. Good, yes. Good idea.
So I walk back over here right into this open area.
Wait, guys. Wait.
What? We're
Oh,
gonna
boy.
go get the demons.
Hold on. Why are you gonna piss something off? I thought we were just here to find something and get out of here.
Because the demons are obviously what's trapping these people's souls, and we have to kill them so that the people can be at peace.
Yes, we get rid of all
but-
criminals, whether they be material or immaterial.
Wait. So, I thought we were just here to help Keysys find something.
Yeah, but
We
ghost
are, but-
children trump Keysys.
I mean, I
Except
have
for-
to agree.
except-
I mean, they
be
don't
honest.
technically
Except
trump
for in Savanor.
Keysys.
And Savanor loves Keysys.
We can do both. We can help me and help the children. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
the
All
mother.
right. Well, go ahead. Here. And he picks up this candle and
Woohoo!
brings it over.
Finally.
And so I'm gonna
Fire.
place the pillow right on the floor, backs up, and use prestidigitation to light it on fire.
Now we're burning now. That's great.
Yeah.
No, we
And
can
you're
put
in a
it out.
house that's made of wood and stone, but a lot of wood. A lot of
Thaumaturgy can
dust.
snuff out the fire.
Yeah, but not the smoke. So now you're coughing because of all the acrid smoke coming off, because it was a down pillow, so the feathers are burning.
Used to the smell of burning things.
I'll just go open a window.
Great idea.
I use
Those
the
are all
gust to
boarded
like
up.
blow the smoke away from us.
Blow towards the
My
demons.
natural gust.
Okay, that didn't work.
All right.
Great ideas.
Okay. Well, I thought they would be more protective of the pillow.
Do you know any demon hunting ways to just make them appear?
Nope.
Shoot.
I know a way. Maybe try to steal the artifact that they're guarding, or they're. Yeah. So let's try to find the thing we're here for, and then maybe we.
Your
maybe we'll
first
find it.
option
Where are
is
you
to steal,
going?
Joss. We're finding out a lot about you
Yeah,
today.
we're learning. See, we are adding to science because now we
Oh.
know that that's not how you attract a demon.
We just have to find the thing. It's a twofer, as they say.
A twofer.
Yeah, 2 for 1.
I like this twofer.
So
I'm going to
that's-
start using this term.
Oh, please do.
So let's see. Joss and Keysys have gone into one of the small rooms that obviously belongs to a child. And there's, again, the dust and dirt and a pile of girls' clothes on the end of the bed. But nothing really of interest other than an old unused bedroom.
Well, I'm not seeing anything magical in the young one's room. I feel weird being in here, to be honest.
And Sigismund, you go into the other room.
Yep.
Again, it's a kid's bedroom.
No Satan's in
Ostensibly
here.
belong to nothing out of the ordinary in that. A bed, a little stool, a little dresser. So now you're back in the big bedroom. As you're
Sigismund's
looking
not a
around,
looker.
as you're kind of like looking around, I mean, you see the same stuff on the vanity. There's a couple of piles of things on top of the dressers along the south wall.
I'm gonna go look in the mirror.
And your own face looks back at you.
I don't see a Satan
Oh,
in the
that's
background.
scary.
Dude, I look like a Rami Malik. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, at least you have a reflection. That means you're not a vampire.
Oh shit! I should take this mirror and make sure. All right. Well, only one thing left to do is to just strip this shit bare. So I just walk over to this chest of drawers and just start just looking and just
And
ready to loot.
Sigismund is making a giant mess.
Yep.
Piles of clothing. Although not as much clothing as one would expect to be in the dressers.
There's probably a hidden compartment in here.
Or
Oh, okay. Let me help with that, and I will.
Can
I will do an investigate and see if I can find the hidden compartment. 17.
do the same in the
Um,
library?
Yeah, I was going to do like
Okay, well,
a religion check
let's
in the
take
library, see if
care of
anything's
this one
tying this place.
first.
Yeah.
So you don't find a hidden compartment, but you do notice there's a stack of jewelry on top.
Oh, right here. Oh, look at that. Oh wow. That's pretty nice.
That's probably cursed.
Well, we are looking for a
the-
cursed item, so I'll let you know tomorrow.
Unless it's one of those burst into flames as soon as you touch it curses.
And over on the other one, there is a bolt of fabric. And again, just because of your colorful past, you would know it's very hot. You would get this stuff up at High Garden.
Oh,
And
wow.
actually, the fabric's worth more than the jewelry.
Wow, this is Don Vinny and silk. Wow. Yeah. don't know. I guess I'll just put this. I got a big thing of silk on my shoulder at this point.
You know, I once saw a soldier of mine get cursed, and the curse was like just every 10 seconds somebody just like an invisible person just pulled one of his hairs out of his head for the rest of his life.
Wow, that's terrible. I would have just shaved.
He tried that. Then he would just grab onto the stubble. He tried having it waxed. They went to the nose hair.
This is horrible. What a horrible curse.
It's terrible. Anyway.
Hey, you mind if I just strap this to your back there? You're pretty big.
No, I don't care. That's fine.
Because really, Jess, the bolt is almost as big as you are.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how I'm gonna make it out of here with all this stuff.
I mean, I'll carry it down for you.
Okay.
But not right
While,
now. I'm in
while
demon fight
Joss
mode.
is pilfering the master bedroom, Keysys, you were doing a religion check, yes? Or was that in Seminar?
Yes, I was doing
In
a religion
Seminar,
check.
you were doing a religion check. So, what did you roll?
I rolled a. That's not good. That is a 14.
So, you know there is an item in that study somewhere, but you cannot pinpoint it.
Oh, guys. I know how we can find out what's cursed. You ready?
Uh-oh.
So, what happens with magic items when you set them on fire?
Well, I think the whole point is, and I go walking in here. I think the whole point is that we're trying to find this item for Keysys, and I don't. What are your intentions for this item?
Well, no. If you set it it's what we used to do when we looted in the military. We would just set stuff on fire, and then whatever would survive the fire was magic.
Right, unless you do enough damage to it and it eradicates this area.
So,
it's not cursed?
Sigismund is suggesting you all start burning books?
I don't think that's a good idea, Sigismund.
That's okay.
I'm thinking that maybe we haven't looked hard enough. You know what I remember? I remember hearing a chair like squeaking across the thing, so I start moving the chairs around like when we were downstairs.
Oh,
They're just dragging them. I don't pick them up. I can't pick them up anyway because
They're pretty big.
But matter of fact, I might have to sit down and push on them to get them to move.
can you do the Konami code on it? Up, down, left, right, start, select.
Oh wow! Look, unlimited lives.
Yes.
So I walk over to Keysys and, my dear, your eyes from being an archaeologist may aid us in this venture. So perhaps you can take a look. And I slightly just caress her arm and cast guidance on her.
Okay.
I've never seen him give a caressing guidance before.
Yes.
Man.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Admiring her tattoo.
He's quite the flirt when he wants to be.
Okay, so Keysys will kind of nod and say thank you. Much appreciated. Excuse me. And she'll start to move around and see what she can find.
Okay. Roll a perception or investigation.
Okay. We'll do perception. And then is that a D4?
Yes,
I believe
for
yes.
guidance.
Okay.
Yes, guidance. Yeah, D4.
Okay. That's at 18.
Okay. So
I don't-
as Keysys is moving around the books and stuff, and she stops and eyes the one on the table that's laying open. But it's not, and it seems this is the one that seems to be speaking to her, but it's not any language she can read.
This is And Savanor, do you know different languages? Could you see about this book here? What does it say?
Of course I do. I know multiple languages. What kind of question is this?
He's a fully qualified nerd.
I'm going to have to research what you just said because I think you made that up, but not right now. So I look at the book to see what language it's in.
And you'll notice that the language is in Infernal.
It is devil
Bless you.
language.
It's also mistake.
And so from not read it, ready as the devil.
Just to be safe, maybe don't read it out loud, but can you ascertain what it says? Or what it's about?
Actually, I believe I could. Give me one moment here. I gotta make a roll, Pam, or just know what it says.
Should be in your notes. You do know what it says, yes. And it's knowledge you know that has been thought lost. Lost time.
Well, now this is rather interesting. This seems to be coming from
And
the
so are you just
darkest part
looking
of
at
the
it,
realm.
or are you going to pick up the book and look at it?
I'm definitely picking up the book and looking at it.
That's kind of what I figured you'd say, actually. And as soon as you pick up that book, you hear squeaks, screeches from either side of the room.
Hooray!
And they're not very big, but they're very strange looking. The one in the far right corner up here looks like some kind of oversized bat with yellow-orange scales and blue eyes, and kind of a freaky intelligence in said eyes. The other one on the left is a standard imp, and you know they're not good. But as you're looking at him, Keysys will recognize that yellow-orange creature. And I'd show you art, but it doesn't exist yet.
I don't see the one on the left.
It's there. It's very faint.
You gotta zoom in.
Oh, there
it
it
is.
is.
Okay.
It's very faint. It's very tiny, and you know it's an imp. But this one, it's a druns. And these are creatures. They're very much like imps, but they are not. And they are servants of the neutral evil gods.
I will relay that information to everyone.
This one in particular is a servant of Chryseos.
Christos.
Not Christos. Chryseos.
There's a servant of Chryseos in our presence. This one over here with the coloration that is odd.
Religion check. 18. What does a servant of Chryseos mean?
This guy.
Yes.
No, I mean, like, what is Chryseos?
Who is Chryseos?
Yeah.
Oh, now I have to look it up again. He is actually the god of curses, essentially.
Oh.
Oh, this is going to be a real bad curse.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
I suddenly have the
They
feeling that
are
the-
both looking very intently and in Savanor as he's
Oh.
paging through the book.
So
And
I'll
they're
move over to
screeching.
here, and I'm gonna pull that silver dagger and point it at. And you're not gonna curse my friend and pull his hair. No way. No way.
What did you say? What? And he turns his head.
Pam, can we have a DM to player talk real quick? Are you going to be mad if I cast sleep right now? Is that because I can just say that I cast that spell earlier? If that would derail us.
Oh, go ahead and cast sleep if you would like.
Okay.
Who are
I'm
you
gonna
casting
try
sleep
that.
on?
It's just everything in the room.
Okay.
and it puts stuff to sleep until it runs out of hit points to put stuff to sleep with.
Yes.
So it's 8d5 or 5d8. So 3,
I was like, what? What uses
11.
a D5?
I know. I was like, hang on.
13.
I don't even have one of those.
No.
So 22 points worth of stuff goes to sleep.
Okay. Here's the problem. Both of these are resistant to magic.
So they get.
Oh, perfect.
How does that work with sleep? Do they get a save? I think they get a save. So they get advantage if they're resistant, right? Or are they just immune?
They're immune.
Okay. That's even better because I wanted to deal with these guys peacefully, but now I get to just cut them.
So they are flying up high. So Joss can't reach them, obviously. Sigismund probably can. But they're screeching. And they're looking at each other. And they're looking at you. All of you. And the Druns over here reaches back, grabs one of the books, and flings it at Insavinor.
Okay,
Oh,
now they've
and-
attacked.
Rude.
And that means we got to go to break.
And now we're going to break.
Break.
Pause.
Break's over.
All right,
Seeing maps and line of sight with the characters moving is a game changer, literally.
The mind-blowing tech that's built into it, not having to use proprietary things, is great because you can have a 3D printer, you can make your own stuff, you can bring your own things to it, and you can still use it with all the stuff you have at home already, but make it even better.
I've literally tried something with this with just like a TV flat with my computer plugged in, and it was just like such a hassle hiding the map. You just look at this and it's there. It's very awesome.
Go ahead, Nana.
Spliced? Okay. Well, welcome back, everybody, and our encounter has started. Also, I went ahead and rolled for everybody. I just used the automatic roll. So we already know who's at the top. And, well, the Dren started it by flinging a book in Savanor. So in Savanor, give us a dexterity roll to see if the book hits you. Or a
This
saving roll.
is gonna be great.
Let's see if you can pretend to be Neo.
That is a 10.
That would be a no.
So encapsulated with this book. He's just flipping through.
So this other book comes winging across the room and smacks him in the head. And that's 6 points of damage.
Oh my god, from a book?
You've never been hit with a book before, have you?
No.
And the imp,
Ah,
not to
son
be
of a-
outdone, from the other side, also decides to grab a book and throw it at Insavanor.
Crit.
And Savanor's out before the battle begins.
Does a 17 hit?
17?
Yeah.
I know the book is coming, and the moment I look over, I shield, and it just deflect. I just wave my hand, it deflects off.
Okay, left or right hand? This is important.
It is the right hand.
Okay. Keysys and Joss, dexterity saving throws, please.
Oh no, that's not good.
Ooh,
15.
22.
Keysys gracefully gets out of the way, and Joss, fortunately, is very tiny and can duck. So in Savanor, it's your turn.
Now, mad from getting hit with a book. And feeling the pain from getting hit with a book. And tripping over Sigismund earlier. Savanor is gonna calm yourself and relax your mind as I cast healing word on myself.
Okay.
And that is, oh thank God. That is a 7 points of healing to me. And then after that, I look at the imp that threw the book.
Which one?
The
imp or the
one that actually
drums?
hit me.
Oh, that's the Druns up over in the
That's-
right corner.
Oh, the right corner, this guy?
Mhm.
Okay. I immediately turn around and just launch my hand at him, and you see this black spectral hand come out with oozing green, just viscous fluid floating around it, and it goes to smack the drones. You dare besmirch literature. And he goes to smack it. And that is a, let's see, that was with my my chill touch. That is a 18 to hit.
Okay. That does hit. Is there a saving throw against that?
No, I have to roll damage. That is 5 points in necrotic damage, and it cannot heal and get any healing points until its next turn.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna stand right here.
Okay. Keysys.
Keysys is going to look towards the I've already forgot that Druns, is that right?
Mhm.
That through the first book and that is a servant of Danger Zone, and kind of step to the side slightly so that she can aim over top of Joss and fling her arm, and a whip of thorns is going to come out of her palm like scorpion, and attempt to wrap around the imp and pull it towards her.
Get over here.
Exactly. Ooh, that's like a 23 to hit.
Are you asking me? Are you
Just in case.
If that's a question, I'm out.
Yeah, fair. So that's 3 points of piercing damage, and it gets pulled 10 feet closer to me.
Okay.
I scorpioned it.
That works into my plan so good. Thank you for that.
Thought it might.
And so you pull it over towards you. Goodbye. And now I can't move it either. Come on.
If it'll move.
Yeah, if it'll move. There we go.
How big is this thing, Pam?
It's like a really large bat, but it's
Okay.
got these big leathery wings.
But it's mostly wing, so its body isn't very big.
No, its body
Okay.
isn't very big. Being that you're a paladin and have experience with demonic beings, you would know that these are typically familiars.
Okay. Can I run up? Is it my turn now?
No, it's Joss's turn.
Okay, well, now it's in striking range.
Except, she pulled it closer, not lower.
Oh, then I will jump up on the couch here, or on the top of the chair there, and then I use that silver dagger and the saw that I took, and I'm gonna stab it and hack at it. And the whole time I'm yelling, "You're not gonna curse my friend and have books flying off of his bookshelves. You're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it."
Okay. What's your
Attack.
attack?
That's what
roll?
I need. Okay, so for the dagger, that's a
Do you have-
17.
Do you have proficiency in your dagger?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So that's
Okay,
a 17.
hits. Mm-hmm.
And then for the weird other thing, I don't have proficiency in attacking with a wood saw. So that is a 12.
Okay, so the dagger hits. The saw does
Okay.
not.
8 points.
Okay.
Unless this is a super special silver dagger that does more damage or something. But yeah.
No, it's just a very well-made silver dagger that doesn't do more damage except in your pocketbook.
Oh, right. All right, 8 points then. And that's my whole thing.
Okay.
Standing on the back of the armchair.
And Keysys, you might want to get out of the way of that saw.
Yeah.
It is kind of flailing around there. And okay, Sigismund.
That is really weird. The initiative order must be different on my screen than you guys. Because I have Joss in front of Keysys. Okay. It looks like you guys have got that one. Does the imp look like it's threatening as well? Like it's
Well, it did throw a book,
all right,
but it
well, we're
looks
just
more
gonna-
like it was potentially competing with the Druns.
So Bam, I want to try and Ozzy Osbourne this imp.
You're gonna bite its head off?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
You can do it, Ozzy.
Yes.
Because it's a demon. It deserves no peace.
Bite this freaking head off.
Or if I can just grab it, I'll just try to rip it in half. Or something.
Didn't you try that in the Alien game?
I think I tried to self-destruct in an alien's mouth after it ate me, but it didn't work or something. What you want to grapple on that?
That's the one.
All right. 14 plus, is it just strength or athletics?
It's athletics.
It's athletics.
19. I got a +5 to athletics. I'm real good at ripping
What?
demons in half.
You got it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try
Both
to rip it in half.
wings.
Yeah. I'll even like wrestle it like to the ground and put my foot on top of it, and then just try to like.
And you rip its wings off.
Josh,
and
you
it
can reach this
lets
one now.
out a blood-curdling screech, but it's still alive.
That's fine. Josh, you can reach this one now if you guys get that one.
Roll an unarmed strike damage.
Okay. Oh, just damage, which is
Mhm.
just a D4, right? But I have proficiency in that, so I get to add my strength. So 4 damage.
Like I said, it's pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't take that much damage. It's not happy.
Screeching,
Yeah.
and the Druns doesn't care
That's fine.
because it's otherwise occupied. Okay, and that's the bottom. So let's roll all again. All right. Screen. Come on.
It's Avenor. I've discovered its weakness. It doesn't like being pulled into pieces.
My friend, that is everything's weakness.
And
Not the
so
puzzle.
it screeches horribly. But you're still close enough to it, and it whips its nasty little tail around and tries to sting you.
All right.
All right, where is that? I forget what your AC is, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't
19.
hit 19. So it doesn't get very far, and its stinger thunks into the floor, and it's screeching at you horribly again. Although do remember, it's a very awful sound.
I've heard it many times.
Keysys.
I already went, I think.
Well, we re-roll
Yeah.
initiative after each round.
Oh, okay. I was so confused. All right. Can I like try to move over here and like kick that table over and get some kind of like flanking with that guy with Joss?
I mean, it's only this big, so.
Oh, true. So I will do that, and like while I'm moving, be drawing my scimitar
Okay.
and try to cut it. Can't bring myself to say cut its wings off. I can't Aussie, sorry.
I can. I'll do it for you. She cuts
It's
your
a
wings off.
demon.
True. That's a 21.
Definitely hits.
Okay. That's 9 points. Yes, of slashing damage.
How do you want to do this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I never get that. I'm so happy. Okay.
Killing blow.
Okay.
Sorry, no gooey dungeon points here.
So she'll like walk over drawing her scimitar and like kick that end table out of the way and just like lean back and swipe up and just sever it in half, and it falls to the ground like that, Sigismund.
Yeah. That'll do.
Okay.
It's not cruelty because they're demons, and demons basically aren't real. Because they're just some kind of weird familiar thing.
They deal real damage, Sigismund.
Not if you pull their wings off.
Speaking of Sigismund, it's his turn.
Now what are you gonna do, you little shit? You can't fly and your buddy's dead. And then I'm gonna try to cut him in half. Does a 17 make it?
Yes.
Okay. And we're gonna pump 2 points of smite in there because
Oh, lovely.
I have spell slots.
That's what I'm looking for.
14 points of damage, and all of that but 2 is holy.
Okay, and what kind of hit were you doing again?
Okay, for flavor, could we do this? It's just like I just wrap my holy symbol like around my fist and just reach down and just boom, and then cast smite.
and what's it? Pulverize is the word I'm looking for.
Breena, you remember how when we were designing Sigismund, like it was like I told you to look at Louis Armstrong or what's his name, Louis Alexander.
Louis Armstrong?
Yeah,
I don't think
Armstrong.
it was-
What is playing this?
I don't think
Metal
it was
Alchemist.
Louis Armstrong.
Colonel Alchemist.
Armstrong.
You know what I'm talking about? Alexander Louis Armstrong, I think is his name.
I think
Anyway,
so.
he just like Armstrongs this thing, just boom, it just explodes all the eye out of it. Sigismund just turns and looks at you guys covered in demon blood. Just like, hello. By the way,
Yeah,
I think those were
thanks.
just familiars.
They
Are
are
you happy
typically
with yourself,
familiars.
covered in blood?
Well, I
He
mean,
li-
it's demon.
he's-
It's demon blood. It's demon blood. Demons aren't really real.
That blood looks awfully real. It's dripping off of your armor.
And they're not. They don't count as like.
It
forms of
wasn't that
existence.
much blood.
No, it was little.
It was
From the-
teeny.
About
From
why
the
you say
back
that-
of the armchair, I grab a book and fling it in Savanor.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's a curse! Oh, it's a curse!
Oh no! I've seen this before. We need to get you to the church quick.
I'm just kidding. You're not cursed to have books flung at you for the rest of your life. Although that would be an opt curse for in Savanor, I think.
It'll be amazing. I'm a little sad.
I have a
Don't
feeling
bring
that
your
I was
nonsense into this.
misled about the severity of the cursed item that is in this house. If you say those two are usually familiars,
Well, they could just be keeping an eye on it for their boss.
that's what I'm worried about.
I don't know. Well, what is this thing? You wanted it. Now you got it. What do you want to do with it?
What? Well, usually I would take them to my mentor who disposes of them appropriately.
Disposes of them.
Then why is everybody saying I was so bad for wanting to burn this place down if we were trying to get rid of it anyway?
Not burning, just removes the curse and
Oh, okay.
prevents them from harming people further.
Oh, okay then. That's quite alright because the knowledge within this is quite extensive on lost
Is it-
time.
Is it good knowledge?
All knowledge is good knowledge, my friend. I've told
I
you this
don't
many
think that's true.
times.
You know, the guys who used to own my house had knowledge about how to build things, or build a person out of other people's parts, and I don't think that's good knowledge. What's those things?
Knowing how to do something and enacting upon them are two
No,
very
look,
different
right
things.
there,
Oh
The
my
ghost. There's Ghost here.
Hello,
Hello, Ghost.
God.
god! Gods.
Three ghosts have appeared,
Oh no, not
You're free.
and they're just looking at all of you, but mostly in Savanor, and they're looking at the book.
Give them the book.
I'm not giving them this
Give
book.
them the book.
I refuse to give them the book.
Do you want me to fight you for it? Give them the book. They need it to go to heaven.
Is it you really believe it's through this book?
I mean, they're looking at it. Look, move it around. Move it around a
in
little
the-
bit.
I start moving it like this.
Oh, boy.
Everywhere the book goes, they look at it.
They're
They're
like
very
puppies.
intently.
Give them the book. See what they do with it. Maybe they'll fix it.
Are you held here in this domicile by this artifact? Question
The
mark?
woman you saw from the first floor looks at you and nods.
It's her book.
Was there
Are you
something?
held here by something within this book, or are you held here by the book itself?
Do you want the book?
They don't know.
Of course I want the book.
No, not you. I don't care what you want. They want the book.
Why do you not care about my feelings, Denver?
Because you're alive and you're happy and free.
I'm not happy. I'm with you, and I'm not getting this book.
They are dead, and they need to move on.
All right, so I'm gonna step on Insavinor's shoe. With one hand, I'm gonna grab a book from the shelf behind me, and with the other hand, I'm gonna slide a hand and try and basically, while he's distracted and looking at his feet, swap the book out that he's holding in his hand for the book that I just pulled off the shelf.
Man, that seems like a pretty IDC.
Hey, I got a high sleight of hand here. Let's see what we can do.
47.
I hope he rolls a 1.
It would be magical.
It's a 15. That's not too great.
That's not too great.
You did the perception against
So
that?
you, Joss has got his hand on the one book and the other, and he's trying to.
Is
Yes,
it perception or my passive?
it is perception.
All right, let's see. Oh, that is a 14 on the die.
Oh,
Seeing Josh try this and just being like,
That is a 19. What?
Insavinor, there's a spider on your butt, and I just charge it.
What?
I just form tackle him. Off the table, like I run onto the table, then launch off the table onto
so
Insavinor.
it's like
Don't you just
diving
feel like
into
the
a
water
mosh
boy?
pit onto Insavinor.
Yeah, I'm like form tackling, like water boy.
Like water boy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. But is that
Meanwhile,
forward
you
and
might want
try
to get out of the way, Joss.
No, Joss needs to have his hand on the book to take it.
Yeah, you can try to take the book.
Wait, Insavinor's the only one who can read it, right? That we need to know what's trapping them here.
16 is my athletic roll on that.
Oh no. Athletics.
Yep. Come on, Insavinor. Athletics.
What
Oh,
I got
this
to
is
do
terrible.
to yank the book out of his hand as he's being tackled? Athletics as well?
Yeah, that's not good. 8.
Another sleight of hand, Corey.
That is
Another
a
sleight of hand. Oh, okay.
-1.
Ooh,
Cool.
22.
So that
Well,
is
that's
Negative
7.
1! He's dead! He hits his head on the table on the way down and just.
He's just unconscious now.
Why did you murder your husband over a book?
My husband.
What?
I'm married to the job. If the military wanted me to have a wife, they would have issued me one.
They only bicker like a little married couple. They didn't say
so-
they were.
so
Keysys doesn't know that.
We're the
I
two
had-
most stable people in this entire organization.
Yeah, if you met the other ones, ooh.
I hand the book to Keysys and say, "Here, it's that's you came for it. Now
Oh,
you got
the
it."
ghost. We're tackling. No, wait.
I can't read it. I don't. Can I close it and like look and see what's on the cover at least?
So you close it, and the cover is dark and some kind of leather.
Human skin.
Oh,
I would say do a nature check.
I rolled really bad. It's 7.
It's some kind of leather. But you know, leather is used for bags and boots and saddles and
That's totally normal.
I mean, if you were going to want to protect a book, you would leather bind it.
Yeah.
Books are very rare.
Ghost, do you want this book?
They don't want the book, but they do want to be free.
Okay. Keys is gonna open it back up and be like, maybe it has pictures. Start flipping through.
Savino's just rubbing the back of his head because he's slammed on the ground.
Maybe
They
I should
don't
just
want the book.
maybe I should just cut it in half. Ghost, would it be a
do
good
that?
idea for me to cut this book in half?
Wait, so the only person who can read this thing is in Savanor, and we can't trust him not to do some crazy magic with it? Is that what?
Oh,
Is that what's
absolutely.
going on?
Why
That's
can't
what's going
we
on?
trust?
Oh,
What do you mean? Absolutely.
He would distribute that information like hotcakes.
Are you kidding me?
Put it in
I've
your
kept all your
spreadsheets.
secrets, especially where you hide all of your nonsense.
What do you mean by nonsense? I don't have any nonsense.
Everyone has
all of the snacks you
nonsense.
keep from Stammen when he goes to shoot and he aims at his stupid target, and you have all of your little pastries hidden behind his target.
I'm just gonna say, if we're putting everybody's shit out, he puts milk in first before the cereal.
Told
What
you.
kind of psychopath does that?
It's how you ration your milk. Everyone can get some.
I mean,
Anyway,
valid
we gotta
point.
figure out. Look, can we just Ghost? Do you need us to cut this book in half?
I think there's probably something in
Do
here
not
that'll tell
cut
us
the
how
book
to
in
release
half.
him.
Listen to the woman that literally collects all knowledge that is lost. It has to be preserved.
It does.
Why?
Okay, so I'm gonna ask anybody who would like to do it a religion check.
I
Oh,
will
I'm good
do
at
a religion check.
religion.
I'm
Nice
really
and
good
eight.
at that.
Yeah, 19.
I also got 19.
That is a 19 on the die.
Wow, a triple 19.
That is a 27 for religion.
27. So
The knowledge.
you do know that is definitely the book that is cursed. And in Savanor, as you were paging through it, you also know that the only way to break the curse is to destroy the book.
Get wrecked,
Oh my
nerd.
God.
Oh no.
I dealt with a lot of
Mm.
curses.
In my religion check, do I ever realize that this curse is just meant for the ghosts and not for us, like anyone touching the book?
Yes.
I will kill you. These people need to find peace.
You're like, we can just leave the ghost.
They need to find peace, but this part of knowledge shouldn't be lost within the world, Sigismund.
Are you holding
No
the book in your
knowledge should be
hands?
lost.
oh no.
What
Keysys has
if
the book.
I were to
Keysys has the
copy
book?
this
Keysys
down
Keysys
somewhere?
has the book.
Yeah.
Is she holding it in front of her?
She's been thumbing through it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I cut it in half while she's holding it.
What?
While she's holding it?
19.
Well, you cut it in half. And so now she's holding two
I
halves of a book.
silvery barbs.
Okay, what do you want me to do about that?
Do not cut that book. And my silvery barbs, you have to roll another d20, and that's at disadvantage.
It's still a 19.
Son of a.
I rolled a critical and a 14.
Holy moly.
It's just in half though. Nothing that didn't
It's
seem to
just
have
in
worked.
half. It didn't have any effect on said curse.
I also give the
I-
advantage from silvery barbs to Keysys.
Burn it, maybe?
I don't.
No, do not destroy that book yet. There's still information inside of it. What if I were to copy the information over or take a mental note of it, and then
Dude, you got
we
like 5
see
minutes.
about releasing these spirits from this domicile?
You got like
Also-
5 minutes.
Honestly,
I mean,
what I was
they
going
have
to
been here for
suggest-
10 years. I mean, what's another few minutes?
See?
I mean, they seem to be in like horrendous spiritual torture.
What?
Um,
Oh,
How
we
long
can
would
have
you
a
want to
little-
spend in
a
horrendous
little
spiritual torture?
cozy chat with him while in Salvador makes some notes,
Of course. See,
and then we'll just discuss with him, the delights of the afterlife, so that whenever it's destroyed, they're happy to move on,
Look,
and they don't hesitate at the weird
I
light or whatever. you
happen
see.
to know that in Savanor has a pornographic memory and he can memorize that immediately.
Sorry, a what?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not my first language. I'm sorry. Photographic?
unbelievable.
I don't know what a photograph is, so I'm very confused.
You
And I don't know what a pornograph is.
Listen, you don't need to know what that is. You
I can
stay
tell you
across
where
the
he
street,
keeps
Los.
his.
You forget what you saw.
You go fast.
Keysys
I
will
thought you were
hand
not giving out.
I'll tell him what the
secret
dwarf
tips.
stuff
halves
is.
of the book to Insavinor. Please, preserve as much information as you can, but I do agree that we need to release these spirits as much as it hurts my heart.
I will go according to your thesis here, but I just give me a few moments and I will copy what is the necessary things into my own manual here. And I take out my own spell book and I start scrolling to the back and start like trying to make a copy and like notes of what is in this book.
Roll an investigation check.
Okay.
Can I assist
While he's doing that, I'm
as
gonna
a
help.
historian?
I'm gonna help Josh just throw everything of value out the window so it's he can pick it up.
You have
Convenient
to.
time.
Okay, you can't really throw things out the window. They're still
That's
kind
a
of
nat
boarded up.
20.
Boarded up.
Okay.
Oh,
So as you're looking and paging through that book, even though, well, mostly because it did get cut in half, you see that the cover was stitched on and can be removed.
Thank you, Sigismund.
And there's something underneath the cover.
So I definitely remove the cover just ever so gently and see what's beneath it.
There is a very, very thin circle of wood with some very intricate carving on it. And that's what contains the curse.
Thank you, Sigismund.
You did a bad thing, but it had a good result. Thank you.
no, that's just kind of how things work with me. Like I just do stuff and it tends to work out.
That's dumb luck. It is not always guaranteed.
May it always work in
Hey.
your favor, though.
And I give him the wood carving piece that's from the book. Here, I believe you have
I just start smashing it.
unnecessary All right. I didn't finish my sentence.
Sigismund doesn't get to be violent very often.
So it is hardwood, so it is going to take Sigismund a little bit of pounding, but it does eventually break. And when it does, you see the three spirits just seem relieved and they vanish.
Oh,
Yay.
yay.
See? Sometimes violence is the answer, but not always.
What
Well,
do you
that's-
mean? I
that's-
have a
that's
book
good
that is
news.
now in half.
But you could put it back together. It's not the big deal.
Unbelievable.
Just make a new copy.
Sigismund. Why would you do that? Do you believe that this was the cause of their suffering and not something else?
Yeah. I mean, I cut it in half. We found the wooden thing. We destroyed that. Now you get to keep the book.
Keysys is like on the ground grabbing the pieces of the wooden thing and putting them in a little pouch. My Mitchell's gonna need some evidence that
And
it
look-
was handled.
And look, now you can like leave half of the book in the bathroom and the other half in your bedroom so that you always have something to read.
No. You rapscallions that leave the bathroom when you decide to wash your hands never leave any of my things intact.
Maybe you shouldn't store so many things in the bathroom.
There's a lot of reading
Here's
to
a
do,
point there.
Sigismund. It's the only quiet place in the entire house.
All right. Well, I mean, you could have brought that up in a roommate meeting.
I did. No one listens. Stammen's over here shooting things when we're not even shooting anything. We're trying to have a civil conversation, and he's over here blasting things. Dulcinea goes, I got it, and she leaves and something blows up. I don't understand what the rest of you are doing in this domicile.
How is your house still standing?
I mainly just
don't
meditate.
know.
Well, in Savanor, maybe you can move into this house. There's all these books.
That is a good idea.
This place does smell like demon farts, and these familiars were definitely
Air it out.
keeping an eye on this place, and whatever was there keeping an eye on it is probably going to be pretty pissed. Might not be a good place to live.
I will just exorcise the demons, and then
I don't think you
will
can do
leave.
that.
You don't know that.
Well,
So,
I
Joss,
must say,
it
you know,
seems to get-
the custodians of the condemned, I mean, you guys have been putting ghosts to rest all over Bogerton, and I am just, I'm glad I was able to be a part of this and get over my fear of ghosts and get over
Yeah,
my fear of rugs,
Absolutely.
and it's been great. It's just if you could help me with that silking.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll take some of these rugs too. That way you
And
can
it-
get used to them at the house.
And if you needed furniture. And Joss, it is getting kind of late, and you know your wife is going to worry.
Yeah, she worries a lot now that the kid has been stolen and she's been possessed by a ghost, and she murdered some people in an alley, and well, you know, it's
Mad at some people. In the
No,
house.
she didn't so much as
What?
a Satan ghost did.
the ghost possessed her. That's why I had this little thing about ghosts. So at any rate, I should probably be getting home. I did just say I was going to bring a sign over to your place, and I haven't been back in, well, but it's probably been about 3 hours now.
At least.
I mean, you went back and got your stuff, but yeah,
You did.
Yeah,
You said
yeah.
nothing to no one.
it's
When
fine.
you went
It's
back to
over
get your
now.
things, you said
No, I
nothing
didn't.
to no one.
Of course not. Why would I tell her I'm going back to my old ways? Why would I do that? You know what I would, if she caught me doing this kind of stuff, how much I would be in trouble?
Hey,
Of course
hey,
you're
Joss.
doing this kind of stuff.
Hey, Joss.
We're
Remember that time?
magistrates.
Remember that time I blew up that flesh golem in your basement? That was a good time.
What?
Yeah. So
My
I
dear,
think it's
don't
time for
ask.
us to get going. And if you don't mind if I wash up and change at your place first, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think we're going to go to the bar after. I heard Logbot's going to be there.
Well,
Not him again.
Sigismund, remind me later to tell you the story of the time I killed a hag by smashing her.
Maybe
good story.
maybe you should tell in Savanor.
Do you like smashing stories?
Oh, I do
Oh,
love
he likes
smashing
smashing.
things.
You know what though?
Oh, wow.
Maybe in Savanor we'll be busy with this book, and I could just take you out for the bar. to go
Perhaps
see
not.
Logbot.
My book is never going to be in the way of any type of smashing story.
It's okay. Relax. I'm like 55. I'm not the threat. Just chill.
I was confused.
Someone's just pointing at Sigismund.
Okay. So they continue their bickering all the way back to the custodians of the
Yeah.
kingdom. And Keysys has her medallion pieces to take back to her mentor. And Joss successfully cleans up and gets back to his house. With his wife only a little bit upset because she was worried for him being gone so long.
And
He
Joss,
smooth
if-
talks his way out of it.
Joss, if you want, you can keep your equipment here in the building, and if we need you or you feel like going on an adventure, you can just grab your stuff here.
Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, and here you talked about nobody ever helping and pay for your services, and I give them the 2 silv and the six golds, or I'm sorry, 2 plats and 6 golds.
Thank you. We appreciate that, Joss. We'll put it to good use.
It will go into the building fund.
Yeah. That's good use. We got to pay to have their holes repaired where Stam keeps shooting the building.
Correct.
And Gideon was bitching about the door, so we should probably fix that too.
I fixed the door last time, and then Godfrey came in and said, blah 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 blah. I'm stuck up. And then he broke the door as he left.
I don't know what to do with that guy. He's never around when I'm around. I'm not sure
That's
he's
what I
real.
say. He's never around to be any helpful either.
But anyway,
So,
if you guys need anything
Keysys
else,
might need to make a quick exit while these two are at it still.
Yep, it Joss does the
Keysys.
same.
And Joss does too.
but back to
Yeah,
the
Joss will
cereal.
just take her hand and be like, "They're gonna be at this a while," and kind of pull us out.
And
What?
so we come to the close of episode 9, The Curse in Bluebrick. I hope you enjoyed your time with us tonight, and we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.